Testing the audio. Testing the audio. Sound lady, can you verify for me that the audio is working, please? Testing again. Testing again. Verify for me if you can hear my audio, please. Okay, sorry about this. Bear with me. I'm almost done just checking our stuff. Alright, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to move the camera a little bit. I usually have it a little bit further down so I can see in its entirety myself. Alright. Hello, guys. Welcome back to another Spanish Couch stream. I just posted a TikTok to see if we can get some people to come over.
Underneath of your mic? Oh, is that supposed to be it?
That's my mic. Anyways. Welcome back. This is going to be another stream where we're going to be talking about just the basics on some of the rules that we've already gone through. Actually, let me go ahead and pull up the presentation right now. Oh, the Eleanor Fitzgerald. That's just something that I didn't take off on the presentation. Hold on, that's funny. There we go. All right, let me go ahead and continue. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Spanish Couch. My name is Vic, and we're just going through the process of teaching you slowly how to speak in Spanish. For today's topics, or los temas del día de hoy, the topics are as follows. We're going to go ahead and review a little bit some of the things that we've already discussed. Okay, there we go. And let me go ahead and move my camera just a little bit. All right, and the other things that we're going to be talking about today is review on your practice sheets. We're going to be talking very basically about the accent rules, and we're going to just try to practice a little bit so that you can understand how to use accent marks, written accent marks, on Spanish, because there's so many rules to accent marks in Spanish that you don't ever like. It's almost like there's so many like that you have to go through so many things to verify if that does or does not need an accent mark when you're writing in Spanish. So to start off with, we'll go ahead and go through the first review here. Let me make sure I'm out of the way here. Time for review. Tiempo de reviso. Let me go ahead and go on to the next slide. Alright, there we go. Okay, I think I'm in the right place. Every time I just keep grabbing the... There we go. Okay. So, there we go. Sorry, I'm just like grabbing my camera, trying to move out of the way. Okay. All right. So, well, our basic reviews is we're always going to be saying good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Buenos dias, or good morning. Buenas tardes, or good afternoon. And buenas noches, for the good night. In this case, since it's evening, we're going to say buenas noches. Buenas noches. And our second review here is going to be the vowels. The vowels. A, E, I, O, U. We have a song that we came up with so that we can kind of help you with that in case you want to just kind of practice at home. So it's abeja, elefante, iguana, oso, urraga. Abeja, elefante, iguana, oso, urraga. A, I, O, U. A, I, O, U. Alright, and then the next review that we are going through from the last week, we went through how to say the questions, or the like Spanish questions, or the questions in Spanish, excuse me. Give me 1 second here. Give me one moment here. My boys are giving me, they're like being a little talkative, so give me 1 second here. Alright, sorry about that. I'm back. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue the review here. So our last review, we talked about how to say who, what, when, where, why, how, and how much. In Spanish, who is quién, what is qué, when is cuándo, where is dónde, why is por qué, how, cómo, and how much, cuánto. ¿Quién, qué, cuándo, dónde, por qué, cómo, y cuánto? Alright, give me one moment here while I move on to the next slide. Okay, sorry about that. I was just testing audio there. Sorry about that. All right, let's go ahead and continue. So, on our last stream, we had work at home, translate from Spanish or from English to Spanish. We said, what is your name? How old are you? And where are you from? On the other side, we have the word or the question scrambled. We have on the other side, sorry, I'm trying to get a little closer there. On the other side, we have de dónde eres. Now, where are you from? if we go back to the previous slide, ¿dónde? Where? Where are you from? ¿Dónde is right there. So de dónde eres, where are you from, is the third one connected to the first one here. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas is like saying, what are you called? So, and now I know that this says como because como means how. So this is literally, if you translate this, is how are you called? But if it's saying called, llamas, that is asking for like, what's your name? So the first one, what is your name, is the correct answer to the second option here. And then lastly, let me make sure I'm not in the way. And then, where are you from? I'm sorry, ¿cuántos años tienes? How old are you? Is the second option on the left side. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the options correctly the way they should be shown here. All right. And then if you guys have any questions, just let me know. That's how we're supposed to be seeing, or how this is supposed to be set up correctly here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and continue. All right. So with our next stream, let me go ahead and get out of the way here. There we go. All right. All right. So, in general, I want to verify if anybody has any questions about the stream, or if you have a new topic you want to talk about, any new ideas you want to know about Spanish words. Generally, what I want to say right now is for Spanish Couch this week, we're trying to do just like holiday theme. We are going to be moving on to the next week where we're going to be talking about clothes and the second part to the human body. Like sometimes, so some things that we didn't go through when we were talking about parts of the face. We're also going to go through like parts of the body in Spanish. And generally clothes. It was what we were thinking about. Directions, like left, right, up, down. I'll translate that as well. But if there is any other rules you would like to review, any Spanish words, ideas that you want to go through, or if you have something new to talk about, just leave me a comment on your. Leave me a comment or message below, notify me about it so that we can go ahead and take care of you and help you out with whatever you need, any questions you ask. On the right side, we have our donations link. This is our Patreon. We also have a Streamlabs link where you can just provide us with the link to provide us a donation so that we can continue to be supported on the channel, so that we can continue providing you Spanish Couch content. Lastly, what I have here on the right as well, and I will go ahead and post a comment in case you want these links. We have our references for the books on Amazon, so that you can look up the books that we are using for the things that we're going through on the Spanish Couch every day and every Tuesday and Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry, Barnes and Noble.
So,
Barnes and Noble?
I think you're muted. Oh, no,
Notice the links on the presentation say Amazon.com. The ones that I'm putting on the presentation.
Okay.
Alright. Let me go ahead and continue. Alright, so the new topic for today, and a topic that I briefly went through on the very first stream, only because I wanted to get you guys more content on that time, was the accent marks on Spanish words. And we're going to go ahead and pull that up here. So now that we're learning how to say lots of words in Spanish, we also need to understand how to write them, or how to properly show where, like, we're going to be getting like a syllable accent. For the most part, accent marks, let me go ahead and move myself out of the way here. For the most part, accent marks are just a way to kind of tell you where the syllable is emphasized on the word. And it's written only when there is words that might confuse you in the Spanish language, where you think there might be a syllable somewhere else. So it's meant to be like a little protection to verify that where you are saying the word, or where you're emphasizing the syllable the most on the word. We have 3 specific rules, or very basic rules, to follow for that. The first rule is if the accent mark, or if the accent mark has to be on the last syllable. So in other words, if the word has the accent mark on the last syllable, it has to follow these rules. It has to end with an N, an S, or a vowel. So a vowel, N, or an S. And I think that's I'm sorry. It must stress the last syllable at the end with the vowel, an N, or an S. So an example: cartón means box, like a box, or cardboard. But we usually mostly say cardboard for this one. Cartón. Ciclón. Ciclón, that's cyclone. Ciclón. Sarampión. I think that's chicken pox. Yeah. And estás. Estás. It's like the verb for estar. Where location, where are you? ¿Dónde estás? So it's basically the R. Jamás, never, and coffee, café. All right. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Boys are still playing in their hallway. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue. So the second word that we have available, or the second rule that we have available, is going to be if the accent is like stress on the second syllable. So in other words, if the accent mark is supposed to be on the second syllable of the word, it should not end with a vowel, an N, or an S. So if you look at a word and it doesn't end with a vowel, an N, or an S, and it stresses and then it stresses the accent mark on the second to last syllable. Hold on 1 second here. Alright, so the first word is árbol, which is tree. Árbol. So the árbol ends with an L, and so the accent mark is going to be on A. árbol. Lápiz. Again, a word that doesn't end with a vowel, an N, or an S ends. Its accent mark is going to be on A. Fácil. Fácil. That means easy. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Lápiz means pencil. So fácil. Again, no vowel, no N, nor S, and fácil has two syllables in it. And I know we don't say fácil, so we say fácil. And then portátil, or portable. Portable. Even in English, we have an accent mark. It's very brief. In English, we don't write it. So, but in Spanish, we do. We stress out the word. Portátil. Portátil. Alright? And then the last rule, or the last basic rule. Now, these rules that we have here, these are basic rules that work most of the time. Because there's some words that are just single syllable. We will go through those in a later detail here, or later on streams here. But written accent, stress syllable before the second to last syllable in every case. So if you see a word that's already like starting to get like 3 syllables, 4 syllables long, you already know that this word is going to have on the second to last syllable an accent mark. So, gramática, patológico, and patriótico. So, grammar, pathologist. Is that right, Sarah? Pathnologist. Oh, give me 1 second. Patologista. Patológico. Patológico. Pathological. I'm sorry. Pathological. Okay. So in these cases where the syllable is, or the syllables are starting to get either 3 or 4 syllables long, we're starting to see that accent mark almost every time. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next one, or the next section here. This is a practice section that I had prepared for all of you. Let me go ahead and double check I'm not over it. Okay, I'm good. So basically what this practice sheet was supposed to do is to help you verify where the accent mark goes. I recently went through review on one of our Spanish couch ones and I missed the accent mark. I'm so sorry about that. I went to put up a comment and make sure that was correctly placed there. But this first word is, in Spanish, is called scarecrow. Scarecrow in Spanish is espantapájaros. Now, this has already more than 4 syllables or more than 3 syllables. So we are expecting it on the second to last, the last letter here, to put the accent mark on the A. Lápiz, we know that from our examples that it goes on the A. Camisa is just like shirt, like button shirt. Now because it ends with a vowel, we don't have any accent marks anywhere on that. Motivación. We already have like 4 more than 3 syllables on that, but this is one of those exceptional rules that I want to go ahead and stress out specifically for accent marks. Whenever you start to see the word sion, or like the syllable sion, S-I-O-N, I-O-N, C-I-O-N, they're most definitely going to be, or guaranteed, accent mark on the O at that very last word. Motivación, canción, reparación. So anything that ends with ion, you're almost certainly going to have an accent mark on that O at the end. Now, multiple, in Spanish, we put an accent mark on the first syllable, mu, múltiple. Múltiple. And when it's multiplication or multiplicación, multiplicación has the accent mark on the O. Okay? So going back to that rule again, multiple on the U, if it ends with, like in this case, E, multiple, multiple. But if it says multiplication or multiplicación, then it's going to have the accent mark on the O. Música. So one way that I test out written accent marks is we sound out how the word sounds. For the most part, to me, I can kind of tell if you say it out loud that's not supposed to, the accent mark's not supposed to go in a certain place. So música, música, música. When we say música, it sounds like the best way to put it in. So música, M-U, at the very beginning, accent mark on the U. And then there's another, practice word, bigote, means mustache, bigote. It ends with an E. We don't put an accent mark on that. It ends with a vowel. Bigote. Alright, let me go ahead and move on. So just to review my rules again here, if you wanted to see this. Let me see. It's stress on the word if it doesn't end. Okay. Alright. Because bigote is on the second to last, so it doesn't stress on that. Alright. So let's go ahead and just review one last thing with you to end the stream here on el or la. As previously mentioned, any words that end with a or dat, sion, or their name as a mountain, they're gonna be la. And let me just double check again that I'm not blocking the stream rules. There we go. If it's a masculine word, or el, it's going to end with an O. I think I'm going to have to fix that because that's la ciudad. On the rule for el, that it only applies to la, not el. I don't know why. I think this is an old slide. I'll have to fix that. But on the rules la, if it ends with an A, dat, sion, or its name of a mountain. El, if it ends with an O, the word ends with Emma, or its name after a river, lake, or an ocean. And lastly, neutral ones, the ones ending with E, words that describe people or end with ista. Alright, so the last thing that we wanted to go through here on this is we wanted to verify if these words are el or la. Now, as previously mentioned on the rules, if it ends with an O, now if it ends with an S, usually, or like another consonant, it's usually not the problem here. It's usually not the vowel that we're looking for. The vowel is like the second to last vowel. so it's an O at the end here, espantapájaros, we would say, because it ends with an O, it's a masculine term, el espantapájaros. Now, I think lápiz is one of those Latin words. It ends with an I, so we would say el lápiz. El lápiz. Now, camisa ends with an A, so it's a feminine term. We would say la camisa. Motivación. Motivation. It ends with that CION, so it's a la feminine term, la motivación. Multiple, el múltiple, or la múltiple. Now, this is the part where we would say el múltiple right here, if it ends with an E, but it can also be la multiplicación, depending on how the word is being used in the sentence. El música or la música ends with an A, la música. And then lastly, bigote or mustache, el bigote or la bigote. Now it ends with an E, and I was thinking that looks like a neutral term, but I think it might be another one of those Latin words. So el bigote, el bigote. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Alright guys, if you are interested on keeping up with us on our socials, please visit one of our websites here. We have a TikTok, Sofá Español. Imgur, we're called Vic with Spanish Couch, or Vic W Spanish Couch. We also have YouTube, obviously here. YouTube, we're called just the Spanish Couch. There's the ISBN numbers here for the books if you want to go ahead and review. And lastly, just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us on our stream. Appreciate you guys coming. And if you come at a later time, that's completely okay. Just enjoy some of our rules today, just to review some of the basic rules for the accent marks. If you want to go back and just take a look at it on the stream, just go ahead and keep reviewing and see if we can go ahead and bring you a little test when the next time when we come over here, because I want to talk about accent marks with more detail on the next stream on Thursday. There's another set of rules for accent marks where things like what we talk about, like it's a single syllable word, like ti and ti, or te and te. Like I would say T in Spanish is te, but we also use te, like I would recommend, te recomiendo. So we wouldn't put an accent mark on that, but we would put an accent mark on tea, the drinkable tea, te. So that's the kind of those are the kind of rules we're going to be talking about on our next stream on Thursday for accent marks on single syllable words and more, I would say. So thank you so much for joining us on our stream. Please, any support that you can give us would be greatly appreciated. It'll keep us running here on our Spanish couch. We're doing this for educational purposes, so you can always come and watch the stream so that you can learn a little Spanish, okay? All right. Thank you very much for joining us, and you have a good night, okay? Happy Halloween.